Okay, so this is kind of the hub area that we'll be coming to and from, other than the Amnoon Oasis, of course. Oh, he's got a quest. You've come here to ascend, have you? I'd suggest you watch out for the Minotaurs if you head into Prophet's Path. It really raises my eye that they still live while I'm doomed to wander this desert as a ghost. If you are going to Prophet's Path... Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to do the quests here. I'll talk to everyone, but there's not that many quests and they're not very important to the plot, so... And I want to get through reasonably fast, so... I won't do many of the side quests. There's one in particular I want to do here, though. So let's speak to the Great Ritual Priest. Wow, look at that. That big ass rock over there. I am he. You wish to ascend, do you? Many have come before you, and all have failed. May the gods grant you the wisdom to light your way. 3 tests await you in the desert. Seek, and you shall find. Okay, so before we do that, I want to speak to this guy, John Kudabeh. There's just so much magic going on here. Welcome, traveller. It's so exciting to see a new group of people attempt ascension. One can only hope that you'll fare better than those who have tried in the past, myself included, of course. I just spoke to some of your friends and suggested that they go out into Skyward Reach to take a look at the Mesa. You should also have a look and then come back to give me your impressions. I'm recording the impressions of travellers for posterity. What do you think? Yeah, alright. And finally we're going to meet Sin and Divana and stuff again. Yay! I have no idea what that's meant to be. Pretty cool looking signpost though. Alright, so we're out in Skyward Reach. This explorable area sort of circles around the Mesa, and the Mesa is the most holy place in the desert pretty much. Everything we're doing is trying to get into there. Well, if it isn't Peter! We thought you were never going to make it. What kept you? What Sin was trying to say, but failing at miserably, is that it's good to see you, Peter. Aiden has already gone ahead to find us a suitable spot from which to view the Mesa. When you are ready, we should all go and find him. We'll lead the way. We've become rather expert at locating Aiden whenever he goes off on his little scouting expeditions. So yeah, like I was saying, this Mesa is the key to ascension, I suppose you could say. It looks just like a rock, I suppose, but it is actually very, very important, and everything we're doing is trying to get inside it. So, it's pretty cool. Menlo says there is no time to talk, we must concentrate on matters at hand. She says this is the time for bold deeds, not words. And Sin says this isn't the best time to start a conversation. How isn't it? You're just walking super slowly. So yeah, the desert is vast, as you can see. Absolutely huge. There's some hydras there. We haven't seen those since we were leaving Ascalon, except those ones are much more powerful and much more at home here. And they don't pose much of a threat to me because I'm fast and I'm just one person. But when you're in a huge group full of heroes and henchmen, they can really, really destroy you because all of their damage hits everyone in a certain area. So this is only a short little quest, but I definitely wanted to do it because it's, you know, it's Divana and that lot again. And it does give you a good impression of the Mesa. Please don't let those Hydra attack us. Oh my god, they're so close. Alright, it's cool. That one's too stupid to even go in one direction. Yes, cool. Ah, there's Aiden. You may or may not know, but these are like the 4 poster people for the game. You know, Aiden, Sin, Menlo and Divana. They appear in the trailer, they appear on the boxes and stuff. Aiden says, "It's good to see you, friends. I trust the journey was not too harsh. Come, I have something to show you." Impressive. I assume that collecting these trials will open the way for us. It had better open the way. I'm not spending any more time than is necessary in this forsaken desert. This must truly be the work of the gods. I can sense divine energy of the place even at this distance. That is the Mesa. Peter, why don't you go back and speak with that ghost? We're going to explore the immediate surroundings again a bit, but I trust we'll see each other again soon. Until then, may the gods of this place preserve you. So it's quite impressive, isn't it? And we've got to get inside that. You can see kind of markings on the front there. which will make more sense later. Yeah, as I was saying, these are like the 4 people, but there's also a 5th person. She's called Eve. She's a necromancer, and you don't see her very much, but she is definitely one of their group, and she's a part of the story. But she's kind of, I don't know, I kind of think of her as the secret 5th character. And then of course that's one for every profession except for mesmers. And for some reason they never put a mesmer in. So it's kind of weird, but that's the way they did it. Anyway, Augury Rock, surrounded by mysterious pillars like stone guardians, this overlook is named for the immense crag that looms in the distance, beckoning any brave enough to approach. Do not be deceived, the rock guards its secrets well. So, okay, back at Augury Rock, and we want to speak to the Great Ritual Priest Zamet again. Okay, Great Ritual Priest Zamet. Welcome, the ghostly hero Chirai Ossa informed me of your arrival. How can I help? How do I get into the Mesa at Augury Rock? Before you can gain entrance, you must first pass 3 tests. The former commanders of Alona await you at the base of the rock itself. They will tell you all you need to know. Would you like me to take you to them? So as you can see here, this is another one of those teleporters, but I don't know, I guess it's broke or something because we can't activate it ourselves. We have to speak to the ritual priest to activate it for us. Still. Okay, so yeah, please take me to them. Alright. So we've just come forward a little bit, that's where we were just now. Here's the Mesa. Let's go get a closer look, shall we? It's in there that we're going to ascend. It's very grand, isn't it? Lots of ancient structures. I have to wonder if before any of the people ever came to this desert, this Mesa was just here. You know, maybe this was all ocean around it and this was just jutting out. What you need to remember is that Ur, the other human province, is quite close to the Crystal Desert, and it was said that in Ur, their capital city, was called Ara, and that's where the gods lived, so it would kind of make sense for something like this to become closer to the gods, to ascend, would be so close to where they lived. But I mean, and there's still water here, so I don't know, I can just imagine that really easily, just that jutting out of the water. Anyway, there's 3 weird platforms here with odd symbols. Maybe each one represents each task that we have ahead of us. And another one of these weird circular rune things that does nothing apparently, and a pedestal. So, how do we get inside? Now, these are the 3 guys. They'll tell us about the 3 tasks we have ahead. It just so happens that this guy's task takes us to a mission that is insanely hard. I'm actually ashamed how long I spent doing it yesterday, practicing on another character to see whether it was even possible to do it solo. And it is, but we're going to need a lot of extra equipment and skills and stuff to be able to do it. So throughout this chapter, I'm going to be preparing myself to complete his mission, which is, like I just said, it's unreal. It's so difficult. I have completed it now. I've completed it 3 times solo, but my god, it's so hard and it's so risky as well. So we're going to need new skills and weapons and equipment and stuff. I've already taken I've checked the best way to get all of them, and there was no way I could get the shield in the desert without leaving the region, so I got it from another character. This is called a Shield of the Lion. It looks pretty cool. And what it does is it means that while we're enchanted, it reduces our damage by 2 that we take, and it gives us an extra 45 health when we're enchanted. It's the same as the shield we already had, but instead of it happening while we're in a stance, it happens while we're enchanted now, which is perfect for what we're going to be doing. But we also need a new axe. This helmet, if you remember, is still hammer mastery, and I need to change that and get an axe one, so we're going to be seeing a collector about that. We're going to be seeing a collector about a new axe that does max damage, and a few other bits, a few skills. So, but until then, I'm going to space that out over the course of the chapter so I don't bore anyone with loads of crap in one episode. So, let's just speak to General Mendoza, shall we, and see what we can do for the first task. Hello, Mendoza. In life, I was the general of the Elonian army. I served Churai Ossa at the Battle of Jahai. Even in death, I still serve him. Before you can gain entrance to Augury Rock, you must travel south to the Dunes of Despair. There you will aid Churai Ossa in infiltrating the Temple of Ascension and garnering the attention of the gods. When their gaze falls upon your shoulders, you will be one step closer to ascending. Return here when you have passed that test. Okay, so that's our first test. Now, you'll notice that we've been told what the test is, and we've been told where it is, but we've not got a quest, so we can't just press M and look for a star to lead us the way. We have to figure it out on our own. And that's just made me realise I never accepted the reward for this quest. Where is it? The quest where we were just with Sin and that. There it is. Sorry, I was going to do that before I went in, but I forgot. Yes, the Mesa is impressive, isn't it? Yeah, it is. If only I had been able to reach it. But I'm sure you'll do just fine. You look pretty capable to me. Of course, I've said the same about the last 24 people that have come through here as well, so what do I know? In any case, I wish you good luck in your trials. Okay, so he gave us a couple new skills, neither of which I really want. Yeah, so we never got a quest, we were just told. I think the idea is that now we're just kind of meant to wander the desert. You know, if you were one of the first players to ever buy this game and there weren't any guides and nobody had played it before and nobody knew where to go and you couldn't get anyone to show you, you would just have to wander the desert hopelessly, kind of in an imitation of what the old civilizations did and when they died out. I think that's the idea of what's meant to happen, and then eventually you would stumble upon the Dunes of Despair and you'd be like, yes, I found it, amazing, and you'd be all happy. It would be like you found water in the desert, blah blah blah. But I do know where we're going, so we're just gonna go straight there. Turns out the fastest way to get there, to the Dunes of Despair, is the Amnoon Oasis, so let's go back to the sea. And we'll head back out. I think there was someone else I wanted to speak to here as well, but I've completely forgotten. I know he gives us a quest. It's not a quest I want to do. Like I said, most of the quests are a bit useless. He says that he's heard out in the salt flats that Elonian ghosts sometimes reveal themselves. One in particular, Senant Sen, is said to have worked as the master artisan for Churai Ossa himself of Elona. This god has never appeared for me, though I have searched for him many times. So anxious am I to learn more of the secrets of this ancient people. If, in your journeys, you should meet him, please convey to him my respect for his people, and tell him that I too hope to speak with him someday. Do you know what? I'll keep an eye out for him. Can't do any harm if I do run into him. I know vaguely where he is. I think we might find him on our way to the second test, but I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go back out into the Prophet's Path. And continue on. Oh yeah, that's right. I just remembered what I'd forgotten. When I came here originally, I wanted to speak to the skill trader. This woman up here, because like I just said, one of the missions coming up is just ridiculously difficult, so I'm going to be getting one of the new skills, which is Watchful Spirit. You can only buy this at a few places in the game, and I was lucky enough that one of them was the Amnoon Oasis, so we'll buy that. I'm not going to equip it yet though. I'll explain how the build works in due time. Also, I realised just now when I was watching the videos to make sure everything was okay, I've accidentally had the compass on this entire time since we started this chapter, which is just so stupid. Sorry about that. I didn't actually use it, it was just up there, if you believe me. It's because in this mission that's coming up, it's so difficult, I'm not sure I can complete it without the compass. I'm going to keep practicing and maybe try it without it, but that might have to be one of those occasions where I break my rule. Because, honestly, I don't see how I'm going to be able to do it. I can barely do it with the compass, so to do it without it is, you know, pushing it. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so we've just left the Amnoon Oasis. We're back out in the desert. We're going to go back to that teleporter I was at. I'll super speed it.